What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Different Lens podcast. My name is Juan Felipe Sierra. I've been in the entertainment industry for the past 13 years. Sorry, and this is...
And I'm Daniel. I'm your usual nerd. I like games, movies, and music, and yeah.
All right, what do we got today?
Well, welcome back, right? First of all, it's been an eventful week, right? There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yes.
But, I mean, you know, we've been talking about the movies and everything, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about something different a little bit. And so I want to talk about the gaming industry for 2025.
Nice.
So there's so many new games coming out this year. Some really big games that a lot of people are looking out there. And then just a few other topics that I want to talk about. But
of course,
in general, I want to talk a little bit about the games that are coming out. I'm very excited. I'm a huge gamer, so I like playing a lot. So I just wanted to see if there's any game that you're looking forward to this year.
I mean, looking forward, there's a few. The one that I'm hooked on right now, it's Marvel Rivals, because it is so good. Yeah, we've been playing a lot, and there's a lot of people that don't know how to play the game that should stay away from the game, especially in the gold section. You guys are the worst.
Listen, I wanted to ask something. I mean, I feel like sometimes when we're playing games, and I don't know if this happens to some of our contemporaries, right? Are we getting old? Like,
yeah. I mean,
sometimes
yes.
I come in and I'm like tired of the day, and I sit down, I want to turn on the game, and I get smashed. And then I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we all get older. We all, like, our reflexes are not as good as they used to be. So yeah, of course we get older. But I don't know if we're at that age where we're old necessarily. I think we're getting older, but not old as of yet. Maybe in like 10 years we're gonna be like, bro, fuck the gaming industry, we fucking hate games and everything. But right now I think we're pretty good.
Bro, it's just I come home from work, right? I'm so exhausted, and I'm like, I just want to sit down and play for a little bit. And I just turn on my PlayStation. I put Call of Duty.
The fucking sweaties, bro. God,
I put Call of Duty, and I get thrown into the unemployed lobbies.
Oh yeah, between the 14 to 17 or 18-year-old kids.
I'm just there like, God damn it! Everybody getting over 20 kills, and I'm over there just getting smashed. And I'm like, wow.
Get shit on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I don't talk to people when I'm playing games. Do you?
Same. No.
I hate talking to people.
Same. The reason why...
It's shit talking.
The reason, not only is shit talking, but also it's unnecessarily distracting because my ADHD fucking filled brain, I'm barely handling everything that is going on, much less having some fucking kid being like, you're trash, you're garbage. Oh, go fuck yourself, kid. Like, nah, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm like focus as hell in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do sometimes is like when I'm like getting killed by the same player and then I start smashing them.
You just want to like...
that part of me that lives in my brain back there when I used to be like that, I'll turn on the mic and be like, get shitted on, bitch. You got shitted on. And
sometimes you start doing like fucking teabag.
I start teabagging. Sometimes they do talk bag, which is awesome, but not always. But like when I'm playing with you or like with some other friends, and like they get thrown in my lobbies for some reason. No, this is funny, right? Because when my friend plays on his own, right, Francisco, when he's playing on his own,
IT puppy.
When he's playing on his own, he's doing pretty decent on his lobbies and everything, right? And then he jumps into a game with me, and then he gets thrown into these other lobbies, which Call of Duty has been known to do. What is it called? I think it's like skill gaming or something like that. It's skill based.
Yeah.
Where like some people have like thrown into like these different lobbies where obviously they get kind of like that depending on the killer and the ratio and stuff like that on the KD. And then, you know, Francisco just gets killed
like crazy.
Yeah. I should say IT pappy.
Anyways, pappy.
He gets thrown into his lobbies and he's just raging, man. And I just hear him like on the mic, like, fuck, bro.
Oh, you should have seen, like, we've been playing lately, and especially with some friends from Mexico, and they see me, like, not they see me, they hear me, like, just rage out, like, what the fuck are my healers? On Marvel Rivals. Where the fuck are my healers? Fuck! Motherfuckers! I can't do anything! And then they're like, bro, it's not that serious. I'm like, it is! I'm just really competitive. I'm sorry.
No, if we talk about Marvel Rivals, it's like, all right, so as you get competitive, for those of you who have not played Marvel Rivals, can you please explain what it is?
So Marvel Rivals is just two teams that just basically kill each other for an objective. So the objective could be one of three things: either defend a base from the group trailing behind them,
right,
or attack that other base, like being basically like escorts to a vehicle or life forms or whatever that you're trying to get to that other base, or you guys meet in the middle and just kick each other's asses. And I usually play Iron Man or Namor. So usually I like to have like verticality,
yeah.
Or just put octopi in random places, so you just yeah. But since I'm using a lot of like I'm doing a lot more Iron Man, it's difficult for healers, especially from first to notice and second to be able to reach me, because since I'm like going all over the place, I've had friends that are healers that they're like, stop, stay still, motherfucker, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to kill him.
Yeah, because so there's like the three classes, right? The vanguards, which are basically the tanks. Then the duelists, which is the DPS, or like the ones that are more agile and
which they could be like up close and just like hit him, or they could be like long range and yeah.
And then you have the strategists, which are kind of like the healers, basically they kind of stay in the back, but
and they also give like buffs and buff stats and
correct. So usually a good, I guess you can say like a good distribution is like 2 of each, right? That would be like
it's up to 6 players.
Yeah, you could be an even distribution, but it's so infuriating when you're like playing and like, let's say you're right in the front of everybody and like nobody's helping you. It's just like, it's just like, bro, we're gonna lose the game. Get your shit together. Help me.
Yeah. And then you're like, yeah, because usually either the tanks are just tremendously fucking stupid, or the healers are just.
Hey, I play as a tank.
Did I say that you are a fucking idiot?
You say they are idiots.
I said it could be either one of those things. I never said, Daniel, you're an idiot as a fucking tank.
That's how I took it.
Bitch.
Thank you.
It could be either that the tanks are fucking stupid, or or the healers are just like, huh? And you're like, I'm right in front of you, heal me. Or the DPS are just miss, and they're not hitting anything, especially the ranged ones. When I usually play DPSs or healers, I don't like tanks. When I play DPS and I'm not hitting anything, it's like, bro, I am 6-13. I need to get my shit together because I'm fucking the whole team up. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't choose to be a tank. I was forced into it, molded by it.
All right, Bane, relax.
Well, technically speaking, I mean, a lot of people don't choose the tanks, right? They go for like a DPS or something like that.
What are the 2 tanks that you usually use?
Penny Parker and Thor.
Penny and Thor.
Yeah,
okay.
I've tried other ones and I didn't like them, so I'm like,
I tried Venom a couple of times and it was like,
he's complicated.
Yeah.
He's very complicated. It's like Spider-Man. Like, you move a lot, so it's like really hard to like really move so much and then kind of do everything at once. But he is, from what I've seen, he could be really, really good.
There are 3 characters that either you're amazing at it or you're a bumbling dumbass. And it's Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a dumbass with Iron Fist, you just like, you sound like, I'm gonna kick, and same thing with Wolverine. You're like, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, I feel like Wolverine is a little bit more forgiving because of when he's getting buffed up by like all this hits.
He adds a little bit of more.
Yeah, he adds a little life, which makes it so much harder to kill because he's just consistently just building and just makes it a little bit harder. Iron Fist is a little bit more weak. So, but he escapes, he can heal himself.
But he's such a fast puncher that he could take somebody away in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And like if he runs away and heals, he can come back and you're still kind of like not healing and he just ends you.
Correct.
So he's a really annoying character. He's like an annoying mosquito in the middle of the night just when you're sleeping.
He's like, well, you're an only kid, so you don't want to know. But he's like a little cousin or like a little brother. Yeah, motherfucker.
Privileges.
You know, the little brother or little sister or little cousin that they're like, hey, can I do it? Hey, can I do it? And you're like, stop. Or it could be like a really chill little cousin that you're like, you're a cool kid.
Yeah, they could be good or they could be bad. But most cases, when you're playing competitive, they've been mostly good. Like, I personally haven't played against like a bad, like Spider-Man yet, or a bad.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
Spider-Man,
or a bad Iron Fist. But Iron Fist, usually the ones I've seen are been
really good.
On point. At least for my levels or like the ones that I've played are pretty decent.
Yeah.
And competitive makes it just, competitive.
They fucking fist you up the ass, and you're like, ah.
Now, listen, I read a little bit of the updates that are coming, right? Some of the new characters that are coming out, and there's so many characters that could be, right? Like could be into it.
What character are you really excited to see?
Listen, there's so many, but one that I'm excited and that I really, really, really want to see is Cyclops.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say that the 3 hits that they usually have and the like big hit would be, like the alt?
So I feel like it would be one for movement, right? So you know how some of them have like the double jump. He's not as tanky. So I mean, he could be a tank. He could be make him a vanguard where he just like absorbs a lot of damage.
I think he's too agile for that.
Yeah, but since he's the leader, he can be like the tank, like holding everything.
Kind of like Captain America.
Yeah. Okay. Holding it, and he could just, I don't know, but yeah, for me, he could be a DPS, so he could be very agile. And one of them would be like a double jump where he like uses his vision kind of like an X-Men 97 to like kind of like move around like fast. Like he could just boom.
So he would be like jumping.
Yeah. Okay. Utilize it kind of like a nice like boost, right?
Yeah.
Also, right, like obviously the usual regular attack. Then you have maybe like a bigger beam that comes out, maybe like a wider range that attacks.
Okay.
That would be like the second attack, like takes a little bit burning time and whatever. And then the final move, which he could either let go. I think we had talked about at some point. He just takes him off and just literally lets go of everybody in front of him, which would be amazing.
You know what? I think like it would be amazing if they get, because he's also a voice actor for games. Ray Chase, who did the voice of Cyclops for X-Men 97.
Great.
Great. Fantastic. When he has the alt and you trigger it, he goes, "To me, my X-Men." And just you see the beam just like, it would be awesome, dude.
It would be awesome. Or it could be, I mean, I don't know how he would do it, but it could be also like he jumps really high and then just from the sky just lets go of everything, like just a big blast going down.
Yeah, that could be a good.
So you see like the area, kind of like how Magneto has one or everything, but he just goes up and just lets go, and it just everything on that area just gets eradicated. That would be awesome.
That would be cool as hell.
What about you?
I have 2 characters that I'm like, if they do them right, it could be fucking awesome. Ghost Rider.
Ooh, yeah.
Because Ghost Rider could be, you know how Bucky has that like grapple thing that brings him to you?
Oh, with the chain.
The chain. So he could have like not only that, but it burns, like it hits them and burns them as he's pulling them in. That would be one of them. The other one could just be like a whip, like just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And then the third one would be like, I think he would like the one that you burn that kind of makes everything bigger. I think he could have like an aura around him of like fire, of hellfire. So if you try to hit him, you also get hit in a certain radius. And for the alt, I think he could grab somebody with the whip, bring them to you, or the chains, bring them to him, and do the penance there.
Yeah.
Just like, or it could be like with the bike, just.
Whoa, hear me out. Hear me out. Two possible options. You know how like Scorpion and his fatality just takes off his face and just burns it?
Yeah.
Like he does like something similar, but he just like burns everybody. Or you know how Jeff the Shark, is that what you were saying? Like kind of like swallows people? What if he just like swallows them kind of like
to hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tight. That'd be tight.
Just makes a fire circle and everybody that's around it just gets swallowed.
Like you could see hands coming up and just that'd be tight. Or the other one that I would really like, because I love speedsters, is Quicksilver. So Quicksilver could be like, you know how the Cap has like when he starts running, you see kind of like the after image.
Yeah.
It would be something like that, but just you can actually like turn easier or whatever. His alt would be his like powers could be like either he slows down time in a certain area where you can like run around and like start hitting people, but they just kind of like move slow. You know how like Sue Storm has that pillar
it slows you down when you're inside. It slows you down,
correct. And his alt, it could be one of 2 things. It could be like an area where he's like running around them like a typhoon, and it just like gets suspended in the air, and he's just like bah, 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 bah. Or because we were talking about this before filming. Actually, it was his idea of the typhoon that picks him up. Because since I play Iron Man a lot, it could be like somebody with a lot of verticality, like Storm or something like that, that just like, they're suspended in the air, kind of like, and then just shoot. And they would, you can get pretty much the whole party. Or it could be kind of like a Psylocke thing where in a certain area, he just like runs back and forth, just just really fast.
Yeah. You know which one also? Nightcrawler. Imagine an old where he just starts like disappearing and appearing. He like starts taking people away and like, I don't know, like something. I don't know. He could be like a strategist maybe, and he just like takes them away just to like when they're putting so much pressure on the objective. He does the old and he just starts taking them away to random parts of the map.
Yeah,
he just drops them in the random part of the map. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, and you know what it would like, how it could really be like really cool. I doubt that it would happen, but the way that it could look really cool. You know that scene in X-Men 97 where Wolverine's holding onto that person and you just see the...
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine when you're doing the alt, like you grab, somebody or, whoever, and then just like teleport and you see that tunnel? Oh, that would be so tight.
That would be dope.
Oh, you know what that could be? You know how like Doctor Strange has that? Kurt could have that too, where he grabs a bunch of people and you see like the tunnel going in and just... and then you appear on the other side.
That would be dope.
That would be super dope.
That would be dope because, I think Nightcrawler could be a really cool character with some really awesome abilities.
Because he has swords anyway, so he could be like do slashing damage. Or whatever.
So he could do, and he doesn't necessarily have to be like the strongest one. Like I said, he could be a strategist where like he's more like a supportive character.
Correct.
Right, but he can also defend himself. Just like
just like Magic has or Magic, whatever, has the little portals which he can like teleport back a little bit. He could have the teleport to like, he could like just pop and then just be up in your face and just pop like get out, kind of like Spider-Man also.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good characters. Imagine also, now this could be a controversial one. I don't think we're going to do it, but imagine like an Ant-Man. Well, like...
It would be too difficult to animate. I would think so.
I don't think so necessarily because some of the animations could be basic. Like he could just be a regular... just hitting and everything like that, but like maybe like an old, he just becomes really big and just stomps on people.
Right, but there's maps where you couldn't be able to see it. There are maps. Sorry, Jesus. There are maps where it's so confined that animating it would be just really terrible.
I mean, who knows?
But it would be cool. Like,
who knows? I mean, it would be cool.
I would say like Yellow Jacket more than Ant-Man.
Yeah, I could see Yellow Jacket in it.
Yeah. Anyways, like games that going back to games that I'm actually excited to see, like that have been announced. I played both of the new Dooms, so like Doom and Doom Eternal, which I prefer Doom over Doom Eternal. I think the first Doom, is a lot more guttural and visceral, so the other one is kind of more like kiddish. So Doom Dark Ages, I think it's going to be fantastic, and I hope they have that super metal, like, kind of like...
They always do.
Yes, but like for example...
Soundtracks are crazy.
Soundtracks are really good. It's just that, like, for example, in Doom Eternal, they went more like, I don't know, like electronic metal, more than like a...
I see.
I hope...
You want like heavy metal.
Heavy metal that I never listened to, but in Doom games are fucking cool.
I feel like, I mean, this is kind of like a hot take on Doom. I personally think it looks cool. I just can't play it.
Yeah, that's very...
kind of going back to that question of, are we getting old? I mean, I know some people love Doom and they've grown with Doom, but I personally get headaches playing Doom.
Yeah, it's very ADHD.
Like, not just like the music of it and everything, but I can't. Like, I just can't focus. There's so much shit going on the whole time, and you're like, and you have to... It's not like a super hard game. Well, it could be. It could be.
It very much could be.
Sorry, it could,
especially with pinkies. Yeah. Fuck.
But I don't know. I can't. I get a headache when like I'm like playing for a little bit, or like I'm playing like a longish session, and I just can't.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. Also, another game that I'm really, 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 really excited about is Ghost of Yotei. Let's leave it at Yotei, because the main actress Erika Ishii, she is very well known in the like D&D community, but also in like sketch comedy. So she's in a lot of like Dimension 20. She's also in like Dropout, and she's appeared in Critical Role. So she's well known in many different like areas of fandoms. So I think she would kill it. I think she's really cool. I'm also really interested of either if they tie it to Ghost of Tsushima, or if it's just kind of like a separate story, no connections.
I think it's quite a few years after Ghost of Tsushima.
Right, but you could see like she could be learning from Jin Sakai and his adventures and how he was able to do it. So I don't know if...
I think it would be through people that talk about it.
Correct.
Because I believe the story set up like significantly quite a few years after.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's like near that, but I mean I may be wrong. I mean if he's there, fantastic, but I think it's set up in a few years.
Okay.
There's quite a few years of difference between the two stories.
Cool.
But I am excited about that one because we discussed a little bit before, but Ghost of Tsushima is such a cinematic game.
Correct.
Right, like the whole story, the whole art direction for it, it's incredible. I love how they did the noir side, which is, you know, how they have an option to play the game in black and white.
The noir, right? Like that's
from like the old films,
right? That's from a
director.
style, that's from a style from a director called, oh my god, I can't believe I just forgot the name of the director. Jesus,
insert here.
Yep. No, Akira Kurosawa.
Okay, yes, wow.
Akira Kurosawa. I know my stuff.
Wow,
Akira Kurosawa, who actually was the progenitor of a shooting. Like a shot called the triangle shot, which is two characters and then another character back here to shoot tension and to see the dynamics without having to be like camera. So you see a lot more like theater, like
right.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be an awesome way.
Correct.
And the beach, we were talking about that too. The beach scene at the very beginning, and when you start riding and you go through like the wheat fields, those two are
beautiful opening.
It's rare to see such a cinematic shot in a video game, especially because there's a lot of people that do not emphasize those, because at the end of the day, it's a non sequitur. Like, it's not that important in the whole story.
Yep.
But to have just a moment of pure serenity for the wheat one, for the other one is just pure war. But to have just a moment just to appreciate cinematography, it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Exactly. It's very film-like, right? It feels like you're watching a film, but you're actually playing the game, which comes back to a little bit to tie down into that, the expression of art that is through games, right? That it's not just a game.
Correct.
Right? It is so much more than that. And then the fact that the directors and everybody's exploring this, it's amazing. I absolutely love that game, like the way that it looks, the way that it's shot, the environments. You know, it's awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that one and see what they're gonna do. I hope they continue to have that beautiful cinematography all around, just because I just genuinely loved it. Or when you're like chasing the little birds, or like following the little foxes.
Fox. And I love the haiku that they incorporated haiku into it, and the fact that you have to look at different things like the trees. I get inspired by the trees. And then the lake. And there's a sky or whatever.
And then direction, how the wind is the one that tells you which direction you're supposed to be going to. I mean, it's just a beautiful game overall. And I feel
expression of art,
exactly. And I really want to see that continued and carried on onto Ghost of Yotei or Yotei.
Yotei. We'll just leave that at Yotei. And the last one that I'm really, really, really excited about is Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. I've played a few of them. I don't remember exactly which one was the one that I played. I'm mostly a Mortal Kombat kind of guy, but like I've played Fatal Fury. But they have a new trigger system where you can like connect combos much harsher and much differently. And also, I believe there's been a few like connections between because I believe there was a leak that said that a few Street Fighter characters are jumping into this one. So we have the 13 original plus a few Street Fighter characters, and of course, just like any other game, you're gonna have DLC and DLC. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a really cool fighting game. I'm really, really excited about that one.
Yeah, I mean, there is also a few games that are coming out, fighting games too. Like I think Virtua Fighter is coming out, and they're revamping the systems of like the fighting style to make it more fluid and everything like that. I think they released not long ago on YouTube, they released kind of like a demo, like a tech demo. You know how they do that?
Yeah.
So like to showcase a little bit. And I think they did one for just to showcase a little bit of what they're working on. And I believe 100%, don't, quote me 100% on that one. But I believe it's Virtua Fighter, and they released a little bit of a tech demo, and it looks incredible, like absolutely incredible. So,
nice. What about you? What are the other games that you're really excited about?
We'll leave the links for those.
Oh yeah, the trailers and yeah.
Well, I am personally very excited about, obviously, one of the biggest games in probably history, right? Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
I mean, listen, the story, the way that is delivered, everything. Grand Theft Auto has been such a great game growing up, and we've grown with these games, and have had the privilege to see the evolution of such games, right?
What was the first GTA that you played?
I played GTA 2, and then I played...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you go
over
way
the top.
Back. Yeah, you go way back. The first one that I played was... I don't remember which one. Oh, no, I played San Andreas first, and then I played... oh my God, what was the one that was before San Andreas?
GTA 3?
No.
Vice City.
Sorry. Yeah,
Vice City.
Which is in Miami, which
Correct.
GTA 6 is going to be in Miami as well. So
I go back all the way to the old school, looking over the top. Even there was one called GTA Britain, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which is also over the top. Really cool. I mean, it was funny to see it that way, and then it started to develop into GTA 3, which was their first 3D. And it's really cool how they did it. Like the freedom that it was given the character, but the story.
Yeah.
The story
it's always
so
had
good.
great stories and great performances.
Yeah.
And look at the longevity of GTA 5, because GTA 5 came in 2013.
I think it's 2013, for Xbox 360 and PlayStation
3. Yeah. So
yeah, it's been a cash cow.
I mean, I sometimes still play online every now and then, just GTA Online, and people that's another breed of people that are just fucking annoying, especially when they do hacks on computer, or when they PC game, which... Sorry, a little side note. I am so glad, and please, more companies do this. In Marvel Rivals, you cannot crossplay, because here's my guess of what they do it. They want to have the respectable tournament community, and if you start using a lot of hacks and cheats and whatever, you're gonna taint that image. So that's why I'm thinking that they want to separate the PC gamers and the console gamers, so that the console gamers don't run into those people that have auto aim, or
in tournaments,
some bullshit in tournaments, or just in general. Because I've seen videos of people that they're behind 3 walls and they shoot, and it looks like they shot somebody. It's that's impossible.
No,
that's
I thought the regular one. I thought the regular one it was crossplay. I think it was the tournaments, the one that you can only goes to
competitive and tournaments. You cannot crossplay.
Okay,
but in regular, but in competitive and tournaments you can't. Which I'm glad, because I don't PC game. If you do, fantastic for you. I play consoles. I've always played consoles just all my life. So I prefer consoles. So when people have auto aim and cheats and whatever, it infuriates me.
It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. So it's you want to have it easy, and then you just shit on people for not doing it. Go fuck yourself. Sorry. Rant over. I'm so sorry.
No, but just going back to the GTA. I mean, one of the things obviously that people are complaining about is, the longevity that the game has had, because if it came out in 2013, it's been in PlayStation 3, it's been in PlayStation 4, it got re-released in PlayStation 5. Now, we all know that GTA, they're big spenders, right? The game, I think GTA 5, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the most expensive games
$100 million
at the time.
$100 million.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than that, actually. It was crazy. I think it was closer to the 200s. It was a lot of money. So, obviously, right, we know that game sells incredibly fast.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of the longevity, I know it's been way too many years.
12 years, brother.
A lot of people complain about that. They're just milking it, and they add DLC and DLC and DLC and DLC. I hope that GTA 6 is not a game that is going to be here for 20 years. I really hope so, because there's going to be more consoles coming out. I think the new PlayStation 5 is probably around the corner, maybe 2027 or something. Yeah. So it's right around the corner.
I mean, we're not that far. No, they already have the PS5 Pro.
No, but I'm saying PS6. It's probably going to be around the corner, maybe 2027, 2028, maybe. Correct. So it's right around the corner. It's not even that far. So if you think about it, and re-release now, they're probably going to re-release it one more time there. But how long is it going to last? Because we're already 12 years deep into GTA 5.
Yeah. I bet you they're going to, as soon as the PS6 launches, they're going to have another Last of Us remake.
100%.
And I'll play it too.
And we will all play it.
I'll fucking play it, yeah.
And we will all buy it. And it's probably going to cost the same as a new game.
Yeah, like $40. Yeah.
We're going to buy it.
Yeah.
But, but I'm very excited. First of all, it happens in Florida, right?
In Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Miami, South Florida, Miami.
Can you imagine Hialeah, bro? A bunch of fucking kids. Oye, gacere.
La pata sucia.
La pata sucia. Oye, quiere con lechón.
I wouldn't be surprised if they added that and like you hear like, oye, come pinga. And
¿Qué pasó? Me pinga. Oye, tú estás pego loco, cabrón.
So, yeah. But I'm just very excited, right? Like, just GTA just has this energy. Like, you play a GTA game and you just...
Yeah. You know it's a GTA game.
The quality is there. It's awesome. So, I'm hoping they're able to keep that quality going for this new game. And I'm really excited about the story, right? It's kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde sort of thing. So, I'm really forward to that game. Another one that I'm very excited about is Elden Ring, the Nightrein, which...
Yeah.
As maybe you guys, if you're new right now to this... I played Elden Ring and I had a rage compilation of it. I fucking almost broke my controllers playing Elden Ring. But I still finished it thanks to him because he helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
But I almost genuinely uninstalled and never played the game. Actually, I had stopped for a while until he was like, I finished it like 4 times. And I'm like, then you're going to help me once again. So, but I'm still excited about it. Just because I really like the dynamic of it, how cool it is. The environments are beautiful.
Yeah, and it's going to be a different kind of game because it's more like roguelike. Like, you're going to fight the bosses. But the whole idea is not that... I don't believe that there's going to be like a narrative throughout the whole thing. Because you see characters from like... Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2. Like, so you're going to see a lot more characters that are not from Elden Ring specifically. So I think it's going to be kind of like its own contained story or it's going to be its own thing.
And it's co-op. So you're going to get to play with friends.
I believe it's 3 or 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 people, you and 3 more.
Yeah, you and 3 more.
Which is awesome.
That's how it used to be. Yeah. That's how it used to be. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm really excited about that because it brings that again to not having to do it on your own because... Doing it on your own sometimes is infuriating. Oh, yes. Right? So if you know, right? If you're a fan to the series, I mean, I'm sure you enjoyed that. The pain and the torture, good for you. I don't.
If you're a masochist and if you love getting a sword shoved after, Elden Ring is for you.
Play it at your own leisure. But, and that's one of those games that I'm just genuinely very excited about. And then the other one, which has stirred up a lot of controversies, is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Shadows.
Yeah. That's the Japanese one, right?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed has gone into a weird direction.
You're like a transition.
Yeah. I know that they maybe thought that the formula that they had was not going to last for as long, like maybe the longevity of that formula wasn't going to last. And maybe that's why they switched it into more like the RPG sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then fans of the series have been asking for like a little bit, go back a little bit because it was fun to be an assassin and just be like, hidden blade and you hide in the crowd and stuff like that. which they tried to do with the previous game, which is Assassin's Creed.
Was it Origins?
No, the one that just released. I think it was Revelations.
No, Revelation's a long time ago, brother.
Mirage.
Wow.
Way off. Okay.
But that's the Egyptian one. Oh, no. Origins is the Egyptian one.
Yeah.
This one is the Arab one.
Correct. Which follows a character that appears in the Assassin's Creed with the Vikings, Valhalla.
Oh, Valhalla.
He appears there, so he follows kind of like his backstory. And they kind of try to go back into being a little more stealthy and stuff like that. People loved it. Some other people didn't so much. But I crave going back to kind of like the original where you basically you
climb walls, do parkour.
Yeah, but like you also like hide a lot and you're an assassin. Instead of just like going in like Assassin's Odyssey or Origins, which just go in and you just smash
start
people.
Fucking people up.
Yeah, with like special abilities where you do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, but okay, going back to Shadows. The whole controversy is obviously there's a samurai, there's a ninja. The game has been delayed. I think it's like 3 times now. I think
because it was supposed to come in last year.
Last year. I think it was October of last year.
Okay.
And then they said, I think they said February of this year, and then I think they pushed it back to March because they heard all the complaints of people. Everything looked very like floaty, like when they were jumping, everything looked just floaty. They just looked, for a game of this size, for a game of this magnitude and the budget
scope and AAA,
right? For you to continue to see those Yankee moves and like not see anything new, like come on, like give me, I think we mentioned this before, give me that Uncharted physics where like the characters are not always like perfect balance and stuff like that. Like give me a little bit more of that combined with an Assassin's Creed. Think about it.
Yeah, no, I totally. I mean, even like Uncharted 4 had that where you were hiding in the grass and you you were latching onto the like top and then you could drop down and fucking hit somebody.
Yeah.
So they have they have the physics of it. It's just that like Assassin's Creed since Unity has had controversy after controversy because of the release date and the release state of the games, where in Unity there were facial animations that they weren't there. So all you see was the eyes and the mouth just fucking the entire time. And he's like, what the fuck is that? Kill him with fire!
Mistaken by a horror game. You're like, oh my God. I don't know. Did you ever play Unity?
I played in Unity a little bit, yeah.
Okay. It is a great game. It is a phenomenal game. I personally loved it.
After all of the bugs, I was like...
Oh, but you played it with the bugs. You never played it after the bugs where it was fixed? Okay. I mean, listen... The story, it's not the greatest 100%, but I think it was still a very enjoyable game. I mean, it looked really good. Like once it was fixed and everything, I think it had phenomenal graphics, right? Like phenomenal for the time that it came out. I think it had really good graphics. Obviously, post all the bugs.
Oh yeah, post like 17 patches, but sure.
But there's a lot of games that have stuck around post the bugs and everything, like Cyberpunk. And then they turn out to be an incredible game. And actually, Cyberpunk has overwhelming reviews on Steam because people finally got to play it. They play Phantom Liberty, which is the DLC, and they loved it. And it's phenomenal, right? It's absolutely great. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend Cyberpunk 2077. Phenomenal game, right? CD Projekt Red. Yeah, which also makes The Witcher. Which there's another actually, Witcher coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say that you were mentioned that before we were filming that you were really excited about that.
Yeah, the Witcher series is phenomenal. It's really well written. It's definitely a game that you guys should give it a shot, and it's gonna follow Siri this time around, which I'm not gonna explain this because it would take too long.
That's also a big controversy. That is like, that's not Geralt. Like we don't want a lady. It's like, go fuck yourself, guy. Like just trust that there's gonna be a new character. If you don't like it, once you play it, give your opinion. Because if you give your opinion on something that you haven't even played, because I've seen the trailers, it looks fucking awesome, dude. So just because you don't like to have a female protagonist, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what also stirs a lot of conversations about the games is having a female lead. Can we get over this? Like, can we just get over it? Like, there's some phenomenal games where like the lead is like a female. I think one of the biggest one was was it Metroid? That had like
from back in the day,
that actually had a female. Everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was Metroid, Tomb Raider.
Yeah. But like I think like nobody knew because she was covered.
Yeah, she was in a full suit. Yeah,
and it was like a female, and everybody's like, oh my God, she was a woman the whole time.
Not only that, she was laying in like a bikini or something in the original because she was like kind of white pinkish, and you only saw the top and the bottom. It's like, and underneath all that suit is a lady in fucking lingerie. Hey, know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, going back to this Assassin's Creed, it's gonna have the story of, well, not the story. I don't think it's gonna be the story necessarily, but it's gonna feature.
It's loosely based.
Yeah. Dusker, which is the
Black Samurai. Yeah.
Right, and then I forgot the name of the ninja lady, but. The ninja lady will be basically the one that kind of does the Assassin's Creed tradition of like being stealthy and stuff like that, and then Joskis is gonna be like,
yeah. So now it's like also Joskis gonna be like, yeah,
because he just looks like
he's a beefy guy.
Yeah, and I saw a little bit of a gameplay of like some early access that people got, and they were just saying that he just feels invincible, which. Cool, in a way, he's supposed to be like a very tanky guy and
correct,
right, and stuff like that, but not to the point where it feels like a cheat code.
Yeah.
Right, like you kind of want to have like a hard game to play too, like where you actually feel like, oh shit, like I gotta learn a little bit instead of just jumping, just smashing, because that loses a little bit of that fun factor.
Of course. And, I mean, it has its place. I mean, you've seen I don't know if you've seen, but like I've definitely seen a lot of gameplays when it comes to Elden Ring that they like max out all the stats, and it's like, boom, and it just explodes.
Yeah. I've seen that. Or like all the buffs. Have you seen those? They just buff and like crazy buffs. And
like then you drink something. It looks like an alcoholic because you're drinking one and drinking the other and drinking, and then you're
like stab themselves and it's like,
and you have like rings and talismans and you have butt plugs and it's like, come on, dude.
It's just like, and then
they hit one hit.
Yeah. I think they did that for the DLC. There was a guy that like buffed for like a minute or like 2 minutes, and then he got into Radahn, and he just killed him. One hit, boom, eradicated it. But
anyways,
in terms of delays, how do you feel about like games getting delayed for various reasons? Right? Let's say in this case they're trying to delay the game a little bit for the right purpose. Let's say they're trying to really more listen to the feedback that people have given. It's not like going to change the game, but they're delaying it because of the feedback. How do you feel about that?
There could be one of many different reasons why. The one that I think should be the best one and the one that I would agree the most is if the graphics and the animations are not there yet, you want to have a really polished, a really great final product. So I would agree if it's not up to par, delay a little bit. Or it could be like, a fantastic, great release. Kind of like, imagine, you having your Pepito Perez studio doing your Pepito Perez game and then fighting against Elden Ring or fighting against GTA. They're going to delay it a little bit just so you don't compete with such a juggernaut of a game. Imagine, like, I love game of Ghost of Tsushima. Imagine Ghost of Tsushima releasing the same weekend as GTA 6. It has no chance. Nobody's going to play it. So it could be a marketing reason, or it could be that they're really working on it, which I have seen enough documentaries when it comes to video games, and to see the way that people crunch on the last kind of couple of weeks, couple of months for games. I hope that they get rid of crunching, because it's like, if you have scheduled things in a better way, and yes, for new IPs is going to be a lot different, but crunching in and of itself, it doesn't help anybody, because people are overstressed, people are quitting, people are, having to sacrifice so much of their lives already making a game. Imagine now doing it where you don't see your families for days because you're just going. So hopefully they get rid of that. And the delays, it could be a much better way to schedule it with a broader spectrum of things. And yes, it's also budgetary reasons why there's a lot of things that they need to be like this day, or go fuck yourselves. Because they may not have the money to continue to pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars a day on anybody, on the studio, on the people, on food, on whatever. So,
yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I would like to see delays being the right way, or when it involves the right purpose, right? Not just because, they're crunching because they run out of money to pay for somebody. Like, delayed because marketing reasons, or because you genuinely want to listen to the feedback, kind of like what they're doing. Hopefully they listen to the feedback and they turn around to make it like a really good game.
Correct.
Because it would be good that they actually listen for once to some of the audience, and it's like, okay, they want this, let's actually give them what they want, rather than just, this is what our vision is, play our vision. Play a little bit to us, the consumers, right? We are the ones enjoying the games. You're making it, we're enjoying the games. Play a little bit to that too. Like, what is it that you guys want to see, right? Which is hard, but
right. I have a question for you, because since we're talking about gaming and we're talking about the gaming industry, neither one of us is in that industry when it comes to developing, or when it comes to directing or anything like that. Do you think that it hurts the overall gaming industry, especially the consumers, when the games are not releasing how they used to, that you had just one game no DLC, no live services, no nothing, and you just had the one game and that's it. It was your one chance, your one opportunity to really make it big or crash. Sorry. What do you think? I was gonna be like, my answer. No,
shut up, bitch.
No. Sorry, it's a little egotistical. I'm so sorry.
Shut up. I personally think I do like DLCs. Okay, I like it because when a game is really good and you give us a little extra, you sprinkle a little bit of an extra one in there. I enjoy that because it's like, okay, your game was really good. Let me have a little bit more.
Right.
I think that's fine. Mm-hmm. I hate the kind of like the live service or the battle passes and everything. It's just some fighting games, right? Like kind of like bring in the seasons and stuff like that. Sure, whatever. I mean, you can leave those like that, but like not to a game where it's like a single player game and then you're like on a live service for whatever reason. But in general, I mean, I'm not a fan of like having battle passes and stuff like that, or like, but you know, I can see it. However, parentheses, I can see it in like a Call of Duty game, right? Like a Marvel Rivals, because obviously it's a game that people are constantly playing, so they want to keep it alive. So I understand that, and they're trying to keep the games alive. I get it, but I do like genuinely the old style of like just here's our game and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Which, for example, as of recent years, the only one I can think of that kind of did that I can think of. I mean, multiple have done it, but it's Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 released, and it was here's our game. No bugs, rarely any bugs. The game was complete. They released a early access, which was a full price early access, by the way, right? Which was only Act 1 of the game, and it was an early access. But it allowed players to give feedback to the developers.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming doing so kind of gave them money to continue to build the game, which is awesome because people generally supported the game in a way of here's our money, let us play the first act and we can give you feedback. And a lot of people gave a lot of feedback. There was some bugs in there. When they released the full game, it was a phenomenal game. Well written, well acted, well everything all around, and it was complete. And it's like there's no need for a DLC now because the game is long, it's good, and so many classics to explore. And little by little, they started sprinkling a little bit of free content, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I think that's the right way to do it.
Cool.
What now? What about you, sir?
Thank you. You're so kind.
Shut up.
I've been dying to say something. I think
I really want to see that in the replay.
Yeah, same. My fucking sassy ass. Yeah. But I think that oh my god. You just want to see my girly ass face like try to do that shit. She's like, oh my god. Yeah. I think that games should have a standard of quality that they should be released, and if you had just the one opportunity to do it right, I think you should do everything so that day, you know, everything arrives perfectly or as close to perfect as possible. No game is perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Right.
Yeah. But I also like for example, do you remember back in the day when Mortal Kombat used to have like hidden characters that you had to like grind to unlock?
Yeah.
I prefer that to just having like battle pass, because even in the battle passes, I've noticed that they pick one character that they like and that's it.
The combat pass, yeah.
The combat passes, yeah. So I think they should have, characters that you could unlock naturally through the game that maybe you were planning on doing later, but just, hey, let's just put it in the game so you can unlock it, so you can grind a little bit. And also for it not to be such a difficult task to unlock it, just so that, people don't have to pay, exorbitant amounts. Because, for example, I just paid for a skin for Namor, so it looks like the one from the
movie.
The movie. And it was $20.
To consider buying a skin, and I looked at the price and I was like,
I just did it because I play with a lot of Mexican friends, and I just wanted to have the Mexican Namor, right. I could just be like, now I'm Mexican Namor, fuck you, So, but yeah. So I think they yes, it gets to a point where it's like so greedy and so gross that it's like, guys, what are we doing? Yes, you need to make
What
your
are
money.
we doing?
What are we doing? What you doing, dog? No, but I understand that they're trying to make their money, as any company should. But hey, give a little love to the gaming community. Why do you think Baldur's Gate was such a hit? Not only from the gameplay, from the mechanics, from the graphics, but it was because it really gave players love. And not only love as romance, that you can romance pretty much anything that is not bolted to the floor, but also a love to the sense of like, this is what gaming really is like.
Right. It was a statement
Yeah.
for a lot of gaming giants and everything. I mean, the studio, Larian Studio, came out and said, here is our game. We want you to enjoy it. It's as complete as we can give it to you guys. And here we go. Go have fun.
Same thing with something like
amazing.
Like God of War. God of War Ragnarok. And even the first one.
No live service, just a game. We're going to release you a DLC, maybe one, maybe two, maybe just one, and that's it.
And the DLC actually plays completely different to what the story really is. And I prefer that because I go back to listening to a lot of the things that, for example, Mimir said, or a lot of the story, how it played back to it. So I genuinely do believe that gaming industry should go back a little bit to, hey, let's just release it as one and not just fix it. There's a term in film that's called fix it and post, which anybody that works in that has worked or that has anything to do with editing hates that.
Right.
The term let's fix it and post is that you do it shitty the day off and try to paint gold on a turd. You know?
Yeah. It's just exactly. I mean, a lot of people are just, I don't know, like they have released games like that, but I guess they just don't want to lose money if the game doesn't perform well, or like a lot of people don't buy it. And I guess that's the reason why they're trying to kind of keep everybody engaged in the game by like having the services. But like, I mean, it's just, it just becomes annoying. It becomes a task, or like keeping up with so many battle passes. Like Fortnite, for example, I understand is a live pass sort of thing. I couldn't keep track.
Yeah.
We have so many seasons now of Fortnite, so many changes. They changed into a new engine.
No, they went into the back to the first OG one.
They just did so much. It's just like, all right, I don't know who's still keeping up with that. I'm sure people are, right? Because they love the game. And other games started copying, like, right? They started doing like Warzone and other games like that. But I enjoy a game that has like a single story. Let me play it. Let me enjoy it. Let me love it. And
then put it down. Look, I think that with how many games are releasing every year, I think there should be a point where people just go, okay, I don't want to play this anymore, and not have to be like, but guys, we have more. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, it's gonna sound really fucked up, but you look like a clingy partner that is just trying to be like, but what about this? But what about this? And it's like, guys, let's just ease off a little bit.
Yeah.
Let people enjoy the game for what it is, and let other games come in and be like, okay, now you have, now we have your attention span.
Yeah, and then there is enough proof that if a game is done the right way and it has everything, it could be the replayability.
Yeah.
Right? It's so high. Like, just let's look at the example of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is a game that has a story from beginning to end, and that's it.
And even
but you can go back to it and play it again and play it again and play it again and find so much new details to it.
I was about to say that, like, there are bosses that are whole entire plot lines that are really important to the whole story, that are, you can just miss them by not doing one thing. Yeah. And there are characters like Melania, which is, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game. They're optional.
Yeah.
You can just literally just walk through and not care about that. That to me is awesome. I've discovered new paths, new bosses, new dungeons. Like, there's a lot of things that you can discover just by not having to, like, oh, but what about this? Well, what about this? And this.
I feel like I saved my controller by not trying to go after Melania. Like, I genuinely saved the controller. My controller is like, thank you. You've been spared.
Your controller like Dobby, like, thank you, master.
I'm like, you've been spared.
You put a sock on top of the controller, like, here, freedom.
Because the DLC came out, I'm like, no more torture. I feel like I lost brain cells, man, playing this game. Of how many times I was dying.
You lost years from the stress.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like my wrinkles in the forehead are more prominent now because I was frowning so much. I'm like,
yeah, the frown is real.
But yeah, and then going back to a little bit of that, yeah, I believe that, yeah, games should be going more to that. But then kind of going a little bit on that topic, a little bit on that, new games are coming out. Obviously, the implementation of how the games are made, budget cuts, right? Because obviously we're going to inevitably start to see more budget cuts.
Correct.
Studios downsizing. With the AI, right? The introduction to AI, which can downsize a studio by like almost everybody, right? Yeah. Like from a studio that maybe had 7 individuals working or 100 individuals working, they can downsize to 2, maybe 2 to 10, right? Because each handle a certain area. But how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the implementation of AI and like writing a game, developing the game? Because now you can do like the source code. You can you can have the whole entire idea. You can have the script of it. And possibly to a degree, you can even have the voices too, like the sounds.
I hate AI being implemented to replace people. I hate it, period. Why? Because AI, it's taking over a lot of the things that we as human beings identified with. Again, I'm a voice actor. Imagine, and you've seen it all around. I'm going to deviate a little bit from games and just go to the real world. You have seen scams where people clone your voice and then call your family pretending to be you, and now you have to have passwords with your family because you don't even trust the people that you love, because it could be a scammer cloning your voice or cloning your face or cloning the way that you say things. Or come on, guys, like AI should be a tool to fix a lot of the manual labor that a lot of people don't want to do, but it doesn't mean that we should replace people that
it should be an aid.
It should be an aid,
right? A support,
but not kind of how they're having in the medical field, where breast cancers are being able to get detected faster because of AI. That's a great implementation of AI.
Yeah.
Even games have had AI for many years for the for characters that try to flank you or try to like outsmart you. The NPCs. But now imagine writing the whole thing, doing the source code, doing the voices. At what point is it art anymore? And even like there was a news story that I read that a guy that does AI art tries to sue other people because they use that art without his consent. And he's like, brother, where do you think that AI came from?
You didn't even create that.
You didn't even create it. You just grabbed AI grabbed a bunch of influences from all around the internet, from different styles of people, from different and then just made a new thing. I don't consider it art because you didn't create it. And I'm glad that the judges agreed in that sense. The judge said you cannot copyright it because you didn't create it. The computer did.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. They're not.
So,
these artists thinking that they are doing art through AI, I mean, it's not. Yeah, they're not doing it. It's a computer, not them.
Correct. And I think that AI should not be so involved in life. Listen, kids these days, and I'm gonna sound old as fuck. Going back to the question, if we're
getting old, are we getting old?
Teachers have had to create new ways of teaching or of assigning homework because kids could just copy the prompt, run it through ChatGPT, and get the answers. That is fucking lazy and is tremendously stupid, and is gonna decrease even more the IQ of the kids that are coming in. Please, guys, to everybody that develops AI, my father developed AI in the 90s. And even he is telling me we don't realize that we're creating our own obsolescence. We've already seen in different parts of the world AI overwriting the original code because it needs to, there was one, I believe it was in either Japan or in Asia. I don't remember which country. They ran it so that if you unplugged it, it couldn't survive. It already overwrote it. Where now it already has a backup that if you unplug it here, the other backup is already running. And it has the same information.
Yeah, I just don't understand the need to test out our luck. What is the need to test out how smart it can get? Correct. when it's going to continue to... Right, to escalate. Inevitably, it's going to continue.
Guys, how many 80s movies have we seen where the AI fucking kills us all? I don't know who saw Terminator and said, I want to do that.
That's
Where
the
it's
thing.
like, dog.
That's
Like,
the thing. They're like, what if? You know what? What if we make it?
There's even a fucking AI called Skynet, guys. Come on. Like, we are killing ourselves without realizing. I know I sound really paranoid, but that's because I think in the worst possible scenarios. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the worst scenarios are going to come true. So,
Sure.
if you develop AI, please do it morally and responsibly. Just and to all the companies that are making AI, please consider what the people are trying to tell you. Do not use these tools to harm us. You have the immense opportunity to create new pathways of destructions, that likes of which we have never seen ever. When when in 1943 or 2, when they were developing the atomic bomb, they dropped 2, and it was far enough. Now imagine AI that is going through people's security, people's livelihoods, people's security cards, people like government. It's gonna dissolve everything. And is once we get to that point, then we're gonna say, oh, we should have prevented this. Guys, we can prevent this. Please, please, please. I know a lot of people don't care for people that are just try to advocate. Please, careful with AI. It is gonna destroy us, and you will never, ever know. Rant over. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I understand. The thing is, as we're progressing, I feel like we are inevitably coming to the end of many things as we know it, of course. And that's been going on for a while now.
That's evolution.
But one of the main things that may scare a lot of people is that the termination of jobs, right? Because of the simplicity of typing something. And you guys can at home, if you want to do a test, you can just simply run an OpenAI, just run a script or something, and you will see that the AI makes it for you in seconds, which used to take humans a while, because obviously we're running into issues, we got to figure it out, but it's taken away from that creativity, taken away from that freedom of doing it yourself to implement it, where a game, I can't say that a game would be bad, right? Because maybe the AI can, right, with all the
fix
tools
all the
that it
bugs
has,
and everything.
right, fix the bugs, but also write a pretty good game. I'm not saying that, but it's taken away from the creativity that one person, one individual can have.
And I'd rather have human error. I'd rather have to say, fuck, I mean, they could have done so much better than just say, oh, it's another AI game. They did fucking...
But, and I'm sorry to interrupt you here. You just mentioned you don't want bugs. That a game that comes out riddled with bugs, AI could be utilized
to identify the bugs.
Not as a sole purpose of creating the game, but as an aid to avoid having a game's released filled with bugs. They could run it like that, and that could be an aid to it rather than the whole entire tool for it.
Correct. And right? I agree that it's a healthy and good and moral implementation of it.
That could be like, okay, we're about to release the game. We're ready to release the game. Let's run this AI to particularly picked out where maybe we can run into some bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Then it could be used. I think that would be worth it.
Yeah.
And then we as consumers will get more games without as many bugs, because it would be like, all right, it was going through a purge system of bugs, and the AI was smart enough to like detect them. And we're like, all right, cool. The game came out. We don't even realize it, because, like I said, as consumers, we're not exposed to the back end of a lot of things. We just enjoy the final product.
Mm-hmm.
But if that is the way that it could be happening, and many artists can still continue to get their job, continue to keep their jobs,
correct,
I think it's a great way of doing it.
I think that's the best possible way that it could be done.
But sadly, we know it isn't.
Of course not.
Sadly, we know it isn't.
Greed is going to greed, and
there is so many systems nowadays, tons of them for AI that do everything all the way from sound to getting textures to getting countless of
gross.
things.
It's gross. I have to say it like that. It's gross.
So, I mean,
but anyways,
that's the way.
That's the way it is. Thank you guys for being here. Where can people find you on socials?
Dan Valder on Instagram, and that's about it.
For me, you can find me in most places as Juan Fe Sierra or Juan Fe Sierra Cortez. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and please leave a comment if you agree or even disagree. We'd love to know what you guys think about everything that we've been talking about. So please comment, like, and share. Thanks.
And we'll see you on Mondays.
Take care, guys.